Welcome back to a bit Gamey and a review of some 172 scale German motorbikes. I did a rough review of the HaT boxes. You got the motorcycle, sidecar and motorcycles boxes a while back, but I didn't actually try putting them together. And when I did, I sort of had a bit of a problem with them, and that put me off doing the sort of what's the word? Second dose follow up. That's the word. Yeah, but then I was thinking it might be because I don't like doing negative reviews. But then I thought it might just be me, an issue with me and fat fingers and eyesight and all that jazz. So I thought I'd do it again, plus a couple of other options: the Zvezda motorbike kit and the SHQ metal ones. So anyway, let's get on to that. So the problem I have with the HaT ones, is the glue. They're soft plastic and they need a special kind of glue, which I really hate. It's a kind of I don't know why. It's just an issue I have. And you've got this special glue. This one's from Loctite. And you have this activator. And you have to put the activator on both halves of the part you're trying to glue, and then you put glue on one half. And it works, it works, but it's a faff. I mean, it's a massive faff for me anyway. This might just be a me problem. But I say, I really hate this glue. It just really annoys me. And it's like, everything's falling over all the time and you're getting stuck and using pretty much a whole tub of glue to get to the thing. But to get it done. But yeah, so this is the end result anyway. This is two of the single motorbikes on the same stand. Not sure that's a good idea or not. And that's the what we call it, the one with the sidecar. So if you can get them glued, and if you're a decent painter, because I wasn't, because there's three problems with it. One is, these are just transport options that are going to mostly disappear very soon. They come on the board and then they jump off into the inventory sections. So that kind of reduces the pleasure in painting them. There's less of a payoff basically, and I was really annoyed when I put them together because of the glue thing. But anyway, so leaving aside all that, if you can get them glued properly, then whatever, 20mm, you can't see them that great when you're standing above the table, and they look fine. Once they're done, they look fine. Oh yeah, and so each set has each set of the combination ones, there's three. So I need to do the other two now. I mean, I shouldn't have put them all together. I should have glued them all first. I'm not glued them all. I should have done some painting first, really. And that might be a solution partly to the glue problems. If you've got the kind of base coat or the primer and the base coat on solid, then you might be able to use normal sort of super glue. So you're basically gluing the paint layers together, if you see what I mean. So I need to experiment with that. Well, I should have experimented with that before, but I didn't. And the other option is using heat to try and glue them together. I've seen someone do that on another video. So that's the and the other one, the one with the single motorbikes. You get 6. There's another 4 of those to do. So they're a major pain to get, for me, I should say. They're a major pain to glue together. But once they're actually glued, then they're okay. And the other point to make about the HaT ones is they cut, as well as the bikes, the 3 combo bikes or the 6 single bikes, is they come with each sprue comes with 2 figures as well, 2 foot figures. I forget which is which, But one of the these four are from the 2 packets, and these are quite nice. I mean, again, it's a sort of HaT soft plastic. The detail level is not as great as the more expensive kinds, the hard plastic or metals, but they're very useful figures, or potentially useful figures. I mean, not so much for me because I've already made up a bunch of little scouting bases, But for if you wanted to have some kind of scout bases, with a couple of figures or whatever, being a little crew on that, these are quite useful figures. So I'd say these foot figures are definitely a bonus. I'd say partly because you don't have to glue them together, and partly because they're kind of useful figures. Guy with binoculars, good. Officer point in, good. NCO point in, good. And a guy with a rifle, and they're in a kind of interesting sort of uniform. You see that? Where they kind of got, it's like bicycle levers. So I'd say that those are a bonus. I mean, I'd say these, the HaT ones, £6 for 3 motorcycle combos. It's nice thing. And once glued, they look fine. Once glued and painted and don't look too close, they're fine. Problem being, the gluing thing for me. So anyway, so that was them. So that's the second part of the review of those, and then the alternatives. So yeah, that's the. So the alternatives. There's a Zvezda one. They I mean, I bought it. It was £3.50 or something, but they're a bit more now sometimes, or they vary in price from place to place. But ones I've seen have been like £4 or whatever. So the thing is, in theory, you can get one Zvezda one for £4 or whatever it is now, and 3 of the HaT ones for £6. So it's about half the price. If you've got three of the Zvezda ones, so it's half the price in theory. But in practice, if you've got to get the special glue, which is like £3 or £4, then it's more like, instead of like being £6 versus 12, it's like £10 versus 12, and plus a lot more than £2 worth of a pain in the arse. So I'll actually, in the future, if I was going to get any more, which I will get, I'll get the Zvezda ones are better, I think, for me. So I don't want to be too negative about the other stuff, because it's quite possible that it's just not getting something right with the gluing. There's that, and another alternative is SHQ. Same thing really. It says it's in metal, comes in parts. So yeah, this one in the hard plastic, so it goes together with standard Revell type glue, and these are metal, so go together with super glue. Nice. There's a different size difference. The SHQ one is smaller than the Zvezda one, and the Zvezda one is substantially smaller than the HaT one. I don't think it matters if they're not mixed. I mean, if you got 3 of these, will be in one soon. 3 of these in another, and 3 of the SHQ ones in another, then they're all fine, I think. So yeah, the SHQ one's very nice, a bit small. Zvezda one, very nice and smaller, but perfectly good. I do like the Zvezda ones. What else was I say? Yeah, so the key point is, if you have got the whole gluing thing of this soft plastic HaT type figures down, then it's perfectly fine. But if you don't, it's a real pain in the arse. So that's that factor. Second factor is cost. As I say, these are the cheapest by far, but you have to include the gluing, and I use pretty much a whole tube gluing these 3 bikes together. So you have to add that to the cost of the box. Whereas the other ones just get a small dose of glue I've already got. I kind of prefer the Zvezda one generally, But the advantage of SHQ is they've got a variety. There's one with an officer, one with 2 crew, and one with machine gun. I don't know. There's a bunch of different options, so you can mix and match a bit. So yeah, so that's the review. That's the review. I think on balance, on balance, I think it's a toss up between the Zvezda and SHQ. The SHQ ones are about £5 each, I think, for a packet for a bike, with crew and such. Say the Zvezda one is was around 4-ish, and the HaT ones are around two quid each, really. So there's 3 in a box for £6. So that's the review. I say that the whole thing is because they're kind of a transport option, and say they come on and then the troops get off and then they carry on off, and so they're only on board for a little while. How many do you need? Do you need any? I don't know. I'm OCD about the transport thing, so I'm probably going to end up getting 9 bases, or more like 12. So there'd be 3 bases per platoon. This is at the kind of crossfire scale, where you 1 section per base. So 3 per platoon. So that's 9 for 3 platoons, plus some heavy weapon ones and a company commander. So I've already got the 3 from HaT. So I'll probably get another couple Zvezda ones and another 2 or 3 SHQ ones. And it's the whole thing annoys me because it's because it's early war, as well as the motorbike version. I want the push bike version and the horse version as well. So we're getting like, oh god, it's so stupid. I mean, I'm not going to do it any soon time soon, but it's like I'm going to want 9 to 12 horse bases and 9 to 12 push bike bases as well for the early war. I don't know. It makes me cringe that I can't stop myself buying this stuff. But anyway, so I'm going a lot of painting and stuff that is very boring. But anyway, so that's meant to be the review. HaT. If you've got the glue figured out, then yeah, cheap option. Even cheaper if you know another way of doing the gluing, which doesn't involve the expensive glue. So that's that. And so it's either good if you've got it all figured out, or bad if you're me. Zvezda, good, not as varied. SHQ, good and varied, but more expensive and a bit small. But again, the size doesn't matter too much if they're from the same firm, and also because they're a transport option. Say they drive on and unload the infantry, then you take them off. So the fact that it's pretty small doesn't matter. Also, the size of it doesn't. Well, I mean, that is pretty dramatic. But even the thing, if you're looking down from 3 foot, I don't know. I'm okay with it. I can live with it. So anyway, I think that's I hope that makes sense. I'm not sure it did. But anyway, okie doke, to a bit. So the last point about one of the issues with the gluing together is the HaT ones. As you can, I don't know if you can see on this, but on the HaT ones you've got the handlebars and the 2 arms of the drivers are separate, which makes all the gluing together substantially harder. Whereas with the SHQ one and the Zvezda one, I think the Zvezda one, it's been a while since I've glued that together, the arms and the handlebars are all part of the same thing. So you just you can just glue it onto the body and onto the motorbike at the same time. And obviously that makes a big difference in how well it goes together. So if HaT ever gets to renew these, I would suggest doing the arms that way if possible. So 2 arms connected by the handlebars, and then they can just pop onto the body. But anyway, blah blah blah. That was just that.